Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to another Tabletop RPG News Roundup, this time for June 22nd, 2025, where each week I take a look back at the week in tabletop role-playing game news and bring you the highlights. We'll start with more shuffling around over at Wizards of the Coast. It looks like D&D VP Jess Lenzio has left. She has been in that position since February of last year, so yet another high-end position at the company switching up. Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford had left earlier and have now joined Darrington Press, the one behind Critical Role's various new RPGs. And speaking of Darrington Press, they've got their own switch going on as Ivan von Norman has departed the company. He was company director prior to this and has gone on to focus on his own projects. Evil Hat Productions has canceled the Tomb Raider tabletop RPG over creative differences with the license owner, I believe. I believe this is just as well, since it was shaping up to be literally anything but Tomb Raider in terms of how it was showing up. It will undoubtedly be released as its own game without ties to the Tomb Raider license, as they said they're basically retooling it for that purpose. Onwards towards minor and PDF releases, Legendary Games has The Bardess's Library No. 8, a collection of material for the Pathfinder line of games, this time focusing on forgotten classes. Laidback DM has Dragon's Loon Adventures No. 4, The Fallen Halls, as an adventure in their series compatible with 5th edition OSR and Dragonbane systems. Escape from Ironhold Keep is a 5th edition solo module that revolves around 2 dungeons in a mini-fantasy setting. The Curse of Gloomshroud Marsh is a 5th edition adventure that is set about a marsh where a fungal blight is looking to engulf everything. Shadows of the Abyss is a 5th edition one-shot module with a cosmic horror and aquatic theme where the party faces off against a shark demon and his cult. Into the Depths is another 5th edition compatible offering, this one dealing with an expedition of gnomish academics which has come to a bad end. Ruins of the Lost Elf Kingdom is a 5th edition set of 5 interconnected dungeons centered around a ruined elven kingdom. The Sword That Stopped the World Eater is a 5th edition side quest that features a sword hidden within the tunnels of an ancient dungeon that had once stopped an ancient worm. The Mystery of Witchhaven is another 5th edition solo adventure, this one featuring occult sorcery, superstition, and secrets within a quiet village. The Bookworm and the Beastie is a 5th edition campaign with settings and characters inspired by fairy tales. Reign of Discordia, the Zildrath system, is a 5th edition compatible supplement for the Reign of Discordia space opera setting, which covers a system with alien ruins, a jungle world, and so forth. Tome of Stars is a 5th edition offering that details a full school of magic as well as 5 subclasses and various NPCs to go with it. The Secret of Castle Ulfgar is an OSR compatible adventure in which the party meets a famous bandit who is the last heir of a once great barony fallen into ruin. Shadow Gulch is a campaign setting for the Shadowdark system that brings a Wild West stylings using that RPG system. Collection of the Bestiarius, Codex Bestialis, Volume 2, is an OSR bestiary that contains dozens of creatures compatible with old school essentials and similar systems. Adventure Framework 70, Lost Roads of Dol Karak from Pickpocket Press is a set of adventure generators for the Argosa setting, but that details a sort of a network of ruins that heads down into a Hollow World-style setup of giant caverns. Black Oath has Machine Gods of the Noxian Expanse, a dark fantasy sci-fi tabletop RPG in a post-apocalyptic world in which AI systems evolved into machine gods while humanity devolved into a feudal structure. Like many Black Oath products, it has solo and GM-less rules. They also have the Void Spire territories, a setting for that system. Crypt of the Acolyte is a Daggerheart-compatible adventure which deals with the hidden ruins of a temple that was once a great place of evil. Fantastic Communities is a collection of communities compatible with the Daggerheart system that can be placed in various campaigns. Core Creatures Compendium is a collection of creatures for use with the Core RPG system taken from throughout the multiverse. Warlord Saga is a tabletop RPG inspired by strategy video games like Mountain Blade and Crusader Kings, which introduces clan management with the usual personal level RPG. Ruins of Symbaroum, the Throne of Thorns, No. 2, is a set of adventures that bring the Symbaroum setting to the 5th edition rule set, which I guess I should have plugged in the 5th edition section of this video. Oh well. Warhammer. The Old World role-playing game, Player's Guide, is a player's guide to Warhammer the Old World RPG, which gives player-focused rules including character creation, details in the world of legend, basic rules, etc. The Island of Insanity is a Call of Cthulhu adventure, theoretically for 7th edition, but also adaptable to Pulp Cthulhu. It is a standalone story. Then there's the Sassoon Files 2nd edition, a set of scenarios and campaign resources for Call of Cthulhu set in 1920s Shanghai. Scion 2nd Edition, Mythic Shards, is an offering for Scion that helps detail other settings and worlds besides the default one, including cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic, and so forth from various genres. Quasar Chronicles Xanadu is a sci-fi chronicle for the Quasar game system, itself based on the basic role-playing system. This one deals with a starport with a couple of small adventures around it. Traveler Far Trader No. 4 is an offering for the Traveler system. This one deals with a cargo trade and the crew of a ship called the Slowhand. Hostile Survivors is a narrative survival sci-fi RPG which can be played solo, designed for a rules-light system in the universe of the Hostile. Finally, there's Nirja, an adventure for FTL Nomad from Stella Gamma that deals with a group of scientists that have been abducted and tracked to a den of criminals and smugglers. And with that, let's take a look at crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is not a guarantee of receiving a product. Mentioned here is not an endorsement, but is for informational purposes only. And we'll start with Adaptable Encounters, Thrones and Tombs, which is yet another set of ready-to-play 5th edition encounters, this time centered around castles and ancient ruins, respectively. Pilgrims of the Empire's End looks to be a setting for 5th edition inspired by Dune and the Ottoman Empire. Blood Sun Reborn will fund a 5th edition adventure set within the Aztec underworld. Brancalonia 5th edition, Complete Knave, Grand Theft Market, and Saints will seek to fund a new set of books for the spaghetti fantasy setting for 5th edition, with each of the 3 books focused on a different theme. Tokyo After Dawn will be a 5th edition campaign set in a distant future Akihabara, where technology has given way and now the heart of Tokyo is a sprawl of crumbling skyscrapers and abandoned machinery. Dragonix's Deadly Denizens 3 will be a collection of creatures for 5th edition, along with various characters, creatures, cryptids, etc. Pagan Revenants will be a 5th edition compatible supplement focusing on monsters of ancient myth and will detail environments, layers, and so on to go with them. Monsters of the Nine Realms will be yet another 5th edition bestiary, and yet another one that focuses on Norse mythology. These are getting pretty common on that one. Then Monsters of the Month, Malevolent Revenants, will be a collection of undead creatures for 5th edition. Freaky Fellows is to be the final in a set of alliterative series of companion creatures for 5th edition that details various pets, familiars, mounts, etc. Trap Theory Codex will be a collection of deadly and clever traps and mechanical hazards added for 5th edition. Treasures from the Dark will look to fund a collection of magic weapons and items for the Shadow Dark RPG, but also compatible with 5th edition and OSR style systems. Valmarked will be a bestiary for Daggerheart and will include Tier 1 to Tier 5 threats for that system. Finally, there's Allegory, which will be a dark horror RPG based on the Trophy Dark system, mingling spiritual allegory with gore and horror. And on that note, I'm going to wrap things up here. This has been the RPG Crawler with my Tabletop RPG News Roundup, this time for June 22nd, 2025. As always, links will be below. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like, comment on any feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, take care and goodbye. And I really need to get some more content besides these news roundups up. I am sorry. I've just been so swamped. And hit with technical difficulties one after the other. Oh my god. Anyway. Laters.
And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribestar, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.